Hello there, it's me, Optimus Prime. Just kidding, guys. Just me, Nathan. And today, I want to talk about something very serious for once. Dementia.
Nathan, you have to talk about Halloween.
No, I have something important to talk about today.
No! You have to talk about Transformers Halloween.
Do I?
You have your brother in the pumpkin room.
Does that change your mind at all?
My Fortress Maximus? And my brother?
Hello? Why is it so dark in here? Why are there so many pumpkins?
Let's do it! Alright guys, today we're going to be taking a look at every single Transformers character that's ever had a Halloween costume made of them, taking a look at a couple highlights for each, starting of course with... Optimus Prime, of course, has a ton of costumes, probably the most. He's got a costume for all of the movies, including one for Transformers 1 that just came out, this fun one from the 80s, one from Transformers Animated, Prime, Robots in Disguise 2015, and much more. My favorite might be this one that actually transforms. I remember really wanting this one when I was younger. Next up is Bumblebee. He's got just as many as Optimus. He's got a ton of Bayverse costumes. This Rise of the Beast one with some scary eyes. Animated, Prime. This Rid15 one with tiny eyes and a huge smile. Rescue Bots, Cyberverse, G1, Transformers 1, Earthspark, and yes, another one of these awesome ones that can actually transform. There's also this face tattoo. Not even the kid in the photo seems to really like it. And one for a wheelchair, interestingly. Next up is Megatron. Doesn't have nearly as many as the last two, but yes, he still has some costumes. One from Revenge of the Fallen, D16 from Transformers 1, another one of these ones from the 80s. This kind of funny-looking G1 style one that just came out this year kind of reminds me of Copturr. The most interesting one to me, though, is this horrifying thing. This is a costume of 2007 movie Megatron, but it's not his final design. This is his early head design that got changed for the final release. And this is also clearly like a prototype of the costume. They haven't even actually created the head yet. Looks like they just sort of photoshopped a photo of the head onto this costume, and not super well. The only acknowledgement of this costume's existence is this Transformers World 2005 article talking about an eBay listing. I feel like this was probably canceled. It also mentions there maybe being a second one of these costumes. No photos of that second one. Next up is Ironhide. I really wasn't sure if he was going to have a costume or not, but he does. He has this one from Dark of the Moon. Looking pretty nice. Next up, we have Starscream, and he only has one, kind of surprising to me. But it's this pretty nice G1-styled one that just came out. I like this one. Next up is Grimlock, and he actually has two. One of them is just his dinosaur mode from Age of Extinction, and the other one, also just his dinosaur mode, but this one's from Robots in Disguise 2015. Drift had a costume in Age of Extinction. His face is silver instead of gold here, which is probably better, actually. Surprising to me, Stinger got one. But it's actually just a recolor of the Bumblebee one. Outro accesso de un costume por Transformers Le Dernier Chevalier. Sideswipe got a costume for Robots in Disguise 2015. And they messed up his cut. What did they do to him? He asked for an inch off the top, and they went for the... Rise of the Beasts got a ton of costumes, and a lot of these are actually the only way you can get official costumes for some Beast Wars characters. Optimus Primal got one. Cheetor surprisingly has one despite barely doing anything in that movie. Same story for Rhinox, has like -2 lines and yet somehow got a whole costume. Mirage got a costume with his early head design and some strangely long legs. Alita 1 got a costume for Transformers 1. RC got one of her G1 design pretty recently. Rescue Bots actually had a couple costumes. Chase has one with his claw arm from the toy. Heatwave also got one. Next up, we have this set of 80s costumes with some characters I really didn't expect. First up is Ultra Magnus. And the kid's eyes peeking out are really scaring me. Metroplex got one. Makes sense because he was the biggest Transformer at the time. Superion has a costume. That really surprised me. Definitely not the most popular combiner, but still pretty cool that he got one. Only combiner to ever get a costume. And lastly, the one that really surprised me from this little set, Silverbolt. Yeah, the leader of the aerial bots who turn into Superion. So in a way, Silverbolt kind of got two costumes if you include him as part of the Superion combiner. But yeah, pretty strange that he got one. I mean, he's the leader of the Autobots' first combiner team, but there's like a lot more popular characters. I wonder how many kids actually went as him. Now, those are all the Transformers costumes, but I just have to include that there have also been some Gobots costumes. Starting with Psykill, the leader of the Renegades, of course. Looking decent. And his rival, Leader 1. Copturr has one. Then Scooter had one that was actually only ever seen in this magazine. Same thing for Heatseeker. Neither of these probably really ever got released. There's also been a lot of weapons that have come with these Transformers costumes that you could buy next to them. Optimus Prime, sword, shield, the Ion Blaster, Bumblebee stingers, axes, stuff like that. Really cool. The Rid15 line had this sword that says it's for Bumblebee, but I think maybe it's the Prime Decepticon Hunter? Not really sure. And that's all the Transformers that have had costumes. We had 21 Transformers characters represented and 5 Gobots. There are some Transformers I'm really surprised didn't get costumes, though. I mean, for example, my goat, the Fallen, never got a costume. Only half the Rescue Bots cast got costumes. What was up with that? I mean, Boulder was my favorite one as a kid. Like,
You did it!
thanks. So, are you gonna, like, leave now?
No!
What?
You just gave us a treat!
But now you're gonna get tricked!
We're never releasing the hostages.
Or the Transformer we took!
No! Fortress Maximus! I value him more than my actual family! Boo! Sorry guys, it's just me, Nathan, again. Did that scare you? You know what scares me, though? Dementia. It's a big problem in today's society, and that's why I want to spend the next hour and a half
Starting to get really hungry. Is anyone coming here anytime soon?
No.